Welcome to our second practice video. This one will focus more on our pelvic floor, contracting it, releasing it in different positions, which will be really helpful again for labor and birth and also for your pregnancy. So Moran, the first one will actually be a breathing exercise, and I would want to emphasize the breathing to the back part of the body, and that can be helpful to be in a child's pose. You can use a bolster if that helps, you don't have to. And we're going to do the first breathing we've done in our previous video to just kind of work again on this breathing to the lower back, expanding the belly as we're breathing, and as we exhale, everything drawing in, and we release and relax the sit bones. So let's start here. Find your comfortable position. Yes, you can lie down on the bolster, maybe bring it a little bit closer to you. Exactly, great. So we're going to start breathing in and try and expand the back of your ribs all the way down your lower back, and notice how your lower belly is expanding. As you exhale, you release and relax everything down. Keep on doing this and try and notice, is there any tension in your body? Can you really relax your neck, your shoulders? Use the breath and this position to really relax everything. In general, forward-leaning positions are especially good as you progress with your pregnancy to also help with the positioning of the baby. Let's take 2 more breaths like that. All the way down the lower back, expand the lower belly, and release and relax. Last one. From here, we're going to move and lie on our back. If it's not comfortable for you to lie on your back, feel free to be on a sofa, on a chair, but ideally that you have some support for your back and you're not just holding yourself. So you can really focus on that feedback from, so this will actually be under your knees, and you're going to lie on your back, hands to your side. Bolster under your knees can just help you release a bit more. If you don't have a bolster, you can also just stand and have your knees bend. But let's try and relax our legs for that one. No, exactly where you are. Yes, perfect. Hands towards you, yes. And we're going to start, in the last video we ended with the working of the pelvic floor. So we're going to work on that in this video and work with the breath while activating the pelvic floor. So I want you again to breathe in all the way down to your lower back, expand, and as you expand the lower belly, I want you to also expand the pelvic floor, release it completely. As you exhale from pursed lips, start drawing it in and up. From the back passage, really notice how it works with your core. What are the sensations in your body? As you breathe in, you're going to drop the pelvic floor, release and relax. Really expand there. And as you exhale, you're drawing it in and up. Sometimes you will feel the sensations, as I mentioned, all the way up your spine and your ears. We breathe in through the nose, release and relaxes. And breathe out. It's important to notice that you're not activating your glutes muscles. You really want to release your bum and almost differentiate between the pelvic floor and the bum. We don't want to work with the glutes because that might take some of the work of the core. So we want to really release the glutes. We're going to change the breath and try the opposite order, which is also important for birth. We want to learn how to exhale and release the pelvic floor. So really see, can you exhale and release it completely? And as you breathe in, you can breathe in through the nose if that's easier. You then contract the back passage all the way up the pelvic floor. Breathe out, drop it, release and relax. Let it release completely. Notice what's happening in your jaw. Keep on going. As we release the pelvic floor, we want to make sure our jaw is really released. So you might want to just check You might want to make some noise just to check that your jaw is really relaxed as you release the pelvic floor. You breathe in, you activate, contract, breathe out, release, and relax. We'll take just 2 more and then we'll move to a different position. And the pelvic floor will work differently in a different position because we're working either with gravity or against gravity. Perfect. Did you feel it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Let's turn and we're going to go on all 4s, but actually on our forearms. So all 6. Yeah, you can be facing here, whatever works for you. So put your forearms down, Sphinx position. Exactly. And in this position, the pelvis is higher than our head, our ribs. So this will help us feel the contraction even more. It's almost like a little weight, and the next phase will be going up on a downward dog, and then you'll feel it even more. It's exactly like putting a higher weight on these muscles. So we'll start by breathing in, expand, release the pelvic floor, and breathing out. Exhale as if you're breathing out of a straw and drawing it all in. Notice what it does to your core muscles. Usually in this position, you'll also feel your core muscles engaging. As you exhale, you breathe in, release and relax, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you draw it all in. And it's sometimes easier to feel the contraction in this position. Let's take 2 more with this breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to change the breath. So release, and now I want you to release as you exhale. Release completely, and as you inhale, you draw it all in. Feel the core working a little bit differently. Exhale, release and relax. Really notice what's happening in your pelvic floor, in your pelvis. Breathe in and contract, activate. Breathe out and release. Last one. Take a little break, and then we're going to go up to a downward dog. Ready? Mm-hmm. So let's go up to a downward dog. You can keep your knees bent. You don't have to be in a really strong downward dog. Maybe take a couple of steps, walk there for a moment, especially if it's the first downward dog you did today, which might be the case. Just stretch a little bit, moving from side to side. Asymmetrical movements as well are really great in pregnancy. Moving from one side to another side, really stretching different parts of your back. That's a great one to do. Again, in the morning, in the evening, before bedtime. And let's find a place that you feel relatively comfortable. Knees can be bent. And we're going to work with the pelvic floor again. So we're going to breathe in, release and relax. Breathe out, activate. And you feel it more in this position because, again, you work against gravity. We're breathing in, we're releasing. Breathe out, work with our back passage all the way to the front, and notice what's happening to your core as you're doing it. Just one more and then we'll change the breath. We don't need to do many repetitions of it. You just want to really feel it and activate and move on. So next one, we breathe in and then breathe out and relax. Second option, relax, relax as you exhale. Breathe in and activate. And then we'll breathe out and release. Inhale and activate. I can see the core working here. Well done. Exhale and release. Last 2. And last 1. Well done. Let's come down on our knees. Take a little, let's just release the wrists for a moment. Shake it out. Front and back. Release it to the side. This shaking can be really helpful, both in pregnancy and after, postpartum, when you're carrying constantly. Let's take a couple of circles in one direction, and then with our hands, fingers open, the other direction. It's okay if you hear a few clicks and knacks, and lengthen the fingers. Perfect. The last phase I want to work on when we work on our pelvic floor is releasing, both when we breathe in and both as we breathe out. And that's what we want to do in labor, and as we progress towards pushing, especially, we don't want to contract anything. We want to be able to disconnect the breath from contracting and releasing, and just releasing both in the inhale and in the exhale. So for this one, Moan, I suggest you lie on your back again. You can be without the bolster, that's okay for now. You can be with or without. And from here, I want you to just, again, the same breath we've done earlier, breathing in all the way down to the pelvic floor, to the lower belly, and exhale, release and relax the pelvic floor. So we keep on releasing it. As we inhale, it's completely expanded, and as we exhale, we keep it completely relaxed. Imagine it's melting down. We can use the breath in the inhale to really expand it down, and release. Let's take 2 more breaths here. We are going to finish this video with a little twist. Twists are great in pregnancy, but just take it easy. You don't need to go really strong. You want to work with your body, but it's great to help creating the space and releasing some of the tension. So we're going to lengthen both legs down. Moan, lift your right leg up, and we're going to go to this side, hands to the sides. I want you to look towards the opposite, and we don't want to go too high. We want to go quite low, diagonal with the leg. And I want you to breathe in again, this time a little bit more up to the ribs and the chest, expand. And as you exhale, you're just drawing the core, the belly inwards, staying in that stretch for a moment. Let's take 1 more breath on this side. Expand all the way up to the chest, and exhale, draw towards you. And bring it all the way down, bring the leg down. And let's go to the other leg. Lift it up, diagonal. Look towards the opposite arm, breathe in, and exhale. Find a stretch, lengthen. 1 more breath here, and we're going to do it 1 more time in each side. Back to the center, lift it up, find a stretch. You can have the knee bent or straight. I usually like it a little bit bent. And all the way down. Last one. Enjoy it. That's a great stretch as well to do in the morning, in the evening, whenever you have a moment. The next video is going to be dedicated to working with our pelvic floor and our breath, to creating pressure and using our voice to really help baby go down in the later phases of labor and birth. It's a great thing to practice from the beginning of pregnancy, because the more you'll practice it, the more you'll be ready, and your body will go to that place as a default without even thinking about it. So see you in the next video.